Why does it take on the order of 15 or so and Wooster, Ohio and Wayne County, Ohio squad cars to pull over someone that has threatened suicide 4 hours earlier? It could have been a little more than 15 squad cars or less. It is a little bit unclear because they were in their rearview mirror. That kind of heavy-handed law enforcement, there's no way to talk a suicidal person away from committing suicide. If anything, that kind of heavy-handed law enforcement tends to push a person to commit suicide because they don't want to deal with that many police. What were the Wooster police thinking? Did they just want a show of force to stoke their own egos? Did they want to see someone kill themselves? Who knows, only they know why they had to have such a heavy-handed technique to try to arrest someone that immediately pulled over after driving for 4 hours. 2 or maybe 3 squad cars would have been plenty. Why does American law enforcement always overdo it like the George Floyd case or many other cases? The public now is even more convinced that maybe people with egos get into law enforcement to flex their muscles and beat up smaller people just to make themselves feel good. The suicidal person that they had seen easily pulled over had driven for 4 hours and were returning home to go to sleep when all of a sudden the person saw many squad cars behind them, so that person immediately pulls over. At that point, the suicidal person is 100% sure that they will never touch their suicide device. Anyhow, after a standoff for several minutes, they easily arrested the person when the person exited the car with their hands up. They took the person to a psychiatric crazy guy hospital, and 2 months later the Wooster, Ohio prosecutor charges him with a felony 5. A felony 5 for having a gun in the car they never touched, and were suicidal. Really, is that really necessary? That person again thought about committing suicide by poison or by pills rather than dealing with a felony 5. They were already extremely depressed. They just made a criminal out of someone that was a military veteran and that never broke the law in the past. That person now assumes that's how law enforcement works in the United States of America now. We have no freedoms. This is now a communist country, or heavy-handed police will bust up anybody that they feel like. Even suicidal mental people.